Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master leads against the foe, forward into battle, see his banners go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Oh, for a faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe, that will not tremble on the brink of any earthly woe, that will not murmur or complain beneath a chastening rod, but in the hour of grief or pain will lean upon its God. A faith that shines more bright and clear when tempests rage without, that when in danger knows no fear, in darkness feels no doubt. Lord, give us such a faith as this, and then whatever may come, we'll taste and hear the hallowed bliss of an eternal home. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fitted for the sky, to serve the present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, may it all my powers engage to do my Master's will. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live, and O thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give. Help me to watch and pray, and on thyself rely. Assured if I my trust betray, I shall forever die. Rise up, O men of God, have done with lesser things. Give heart and mind and soul and strength to serve the King of Kings. Rise up, O men of God, his kingdom tarries long. Bring in the day of brotherhood and end the night of wrong. Rise up, O men of God, the church for you doth wait. Her strength unequal to her task, rise up and make her great. Lift high the cross of Christ, tread where his feet have trod. As brothers of the Son of Man, rise. 'Rise up, O men of God. 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 'Rise up, O men Cool. Good evening.
Good.
Let's edify one another this evening, shall we?
Yep. The Saints of professionalism and shenanigans.
Yep.
Yep.
The Saints with professionalism and kind of that really doesn't
Yep.
necessarily flow as a complete sentence. You know that.
You're welcome. That's what I did. Oh.
Oh. How
That's,
long did your appointment take?
well, we got there at like 2:20. Didn't get in till 2:45, and then maybe 10 minutes.
Did you have to go far?
No, it's like 15 minutes, maybe less.
Kind of curious because you started you were wanting to start reading early today, so it's like hmm,
Had to leave at 2:15. Not,
2:15.
not
Started reading at 12. Oh, 12:55, wasn't it?
yet.
Gotcha. You see, for 12:55 for you is 11:55 for me.
Yeah,
Like, wow, that's like 2.5 hours early for.
yeah.
So it's always translating it between the time zones. It's always difficult.
And I was done at 1:45 my time.
Yeah, pretty good
So,
time then. Gave me enough time to get ready.
yeah, I probably would have pushed. I started at like 1:15. So that's about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I, didn't- if I started at normal time would have been done by like 1:55, and that would have, I guess that would have worked, but I didn't want to push it.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I mean, I can understand it. So I got the test back from my blood test that I had yesterday, the blood draw, and well, my potassium's on its way back down. It's below
Oh,
the green. It's below the green again.
hmm.
So, well, it was below the green last week as well, but it dropped another point again.
So you're gonna have to go back and have them.
Well, we made a change to medicine, and so I'm supposed to retest in a week, but because he called me today with the results, and she phoned in the new medication dosage. So I got that this afternoon, and we decided to wait until the 9th of June for the next blood draw because she wasn't going to be in the office to do the blood draw when the week come due. So we just then and they're not in the office on the weekends, of course, So we just extended it to the 9th, which is the Monday, and so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. If it continues to drop, even with this new medication change, then we know that it's not the medication that she's worrying that it is.
Yeah,
And so if it's not the medication that she's worrying that it is, then we're really inching into the realm of um, a condition that the neurologist has to check for, and which is it's a condition called Conn's syndrome, and that's basically a overactive adrenal gland or glands, so
Hmm.
producing too much of a hormone, and yeah, interestingly enough, what what really it struck me as interesting is that a number of the symptoms of this overactive adrenal gland match what I have going on right now,
Hmm.
including my headaches.
Huh.
So I'm like, huh,
Hey, maybe they can
exactly.
fix that.
Maybe it's instead of being COVID headaches, it could be, it could be this is what's triggering my headaches. Um, it could be that it could be a hormonal imbalance caused by my adrenal glands, or it could be COVID related and a hormonal imbalance.
Yeah. Hey, that gives maybe hope for relief.
It gives hope. It does give hope. So we're gonna first off see this and see if in a week, maybe this change in medication, which um, is this one aspect of my normal blood pressure medicine is a potassium drain, and so she's removed that aspect. Problem is that by removing that aspect, my legs and my body could begin to retain water.
Oh,
Um, so if I'm retaining water, but my potassium goes up, then we know that the uh, that that was the problem was the medication, which was drawing my uh, potassium down. The problem with that theory is that I've been on that particular medicine with that aspect, with that secondary medication in it for probably 10 years now, without it affecting my potassium.
um,
I've been on potassium supplements for 5 years because, in addition to that, I've also had the metformin and then the Victoza, then the Ozempic. So we've changed some aspects of my medication. Well, metformin is a potassium drain. We were on that until we added, to last year about June, July. We got rid of the metformin, but both Victoza and Ozempic, uh, I switched from Victoza to Ozempic, um, but both of those are also potassium drains.
mm,
And we went all the way up until about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, without me tanking on the
huh.
potassium. So, what caused the sudden tankage? That's what we got to figure out. If I've gone for 10 years, 10 plus years with the blood pressure plus the uh, water pill that is a potassium drain, plus all these other ones, and not had a problem, why do I suddenly start having a problem?
I don't know.
quite the conundrum. So
Well, for me, I guess I just got a line of doctor's appointments, so I gotta see the neurologist, then gotta wait a couple weeks to see my doctor so that we can talk about the results of the neurology, and
yeah,
then based on that, we'll know where to go. Hopefully, maybe.
down the street.
Yeah, they tested my blood and my urine, and there was nothing in those.
Yeah, you gotta have your. This is like kind of like your annual physical, right?
Yeah,
You got to
I,
do that at least once a
I
once a
was
year.
kind of disappointed that they found nothing, but I
Well,
know it's a good thing.
they
But
found out you have blood and
yeah,
urine.
yeah, it just didn't give me answers I was looking for.
Mhm. Well, but it does also give you a baseline, and so there might be some other things that, like you said, you go to the neurologist, and the neurologists are going to probably look at those tests, but they're going to pull blood as well, and have you, and probably check you for some other things as well. So
So are they gonna probe my head?
no, probably not.
How do they look at my brain?
Well, if they're going to look at your brain, they're going to use more than likely they're going to either use a CAT scan or an MRI.
Oh.
Um, you got to be careful with all those. You don't want to take too many of those because it's kind of been there's a section of the medical industry that says, okay, too many of these tests like X-rays, CAT scans, and MRIs are hitting you with enough waves of these, you know, let's say gamma particles, whatever it is, uh, that there may be a correlation between that and an increased risk of cancer.
Hmm. Great.
Notice I said maybe, and you know, so
Well,
because of how much is being hit, hit
yeah.
with you, hit at you, how much you're being hit with at one time is way more than you would be hit normally, naturally. So, Shua, shut the door.
So I'm excited to figure out what's wrong with me.
Yeah, should be. Always shut the door. So,
I'm on the road to discovery.
on the
Maybe.
road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. You're gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to work.
go
You
through
should
all of this, and then
watch
it's
out for playing in the road, though. It's a
what?
good place to get hit by
Oh.
cars.
I'm gonna go through everything, and we're gonna conclude it's all in my head, which I don't want that to be the answer, but
Don't let them take the easy way out. They tried to do that with Amy at one point in time and say, it was all in your head. In reality, it was not all in her head. She was literally going through symptoms and stuff that was similar to a stroke and was going through Bell's palsy. She had low potassium when we were in there, and they tried that with her. Her doctor said, "I want you to go see a psychologist because what you're going through, this is just it's all in your head. But we're going to send you over to labs and have them give you some IV fluid because you are dehydrated." Well, she's sitting there saying this to Amy at the exact moment that Amy is having a muscle spasm. And I'm like, did you just see that? That's not in her head. But the doctor wouldn't change. And so we get over to labs, and they have her sitting there lying on the table and have the IV in her arm, and she's spasming. And the nurse says, "This is not normal. We're going to pull some blood and check, because you should not be spasming like that." They checked her potassium. Her potassium was so low they had to keep her for, I don't know, 4 hours to pump potassium into her.
Whoa.
So she wasn't just dehydrated, but she had such severe low potassium that they couldn't send her home. So not only, so we went and had gone for a regular office visit, and then had to stay for them to put IV in. I had to actually leave her there, go run my normal route, and come back, and it was still 10 o'clock, almost midnight, by the time we got out of there and headed home.
Whoa.
So, I mean, and our normal office visit was at like 10:30 in the morning. So, they didn't get to. That's that was just totally, blew my mind. And the doctor was just sure that it was all in her head. Don't let them take that easy way out with you. Remember, and this goes for anybody, remember that the doctor works for you. You are paying for that service. You are the one that has to live in that body 24/7. And you know what is and is not normal in your body. So if there is something going on, and you know that there is something that is not normal going on in your body, it is up to you to pressure the doctor and say, no, there is something wrong. This is not in my head. This is in my body. This is what's going wrong. I know there is something wrong. You need to find it or send me to someone who will.
Yeah.
Uh, because you are your own best advocate. And too many times, doctors are not meet patients who are not willing to do the work. And so the doctors are not willing to do it either. If all you are is just interested in popping pills and going on, well, that's not that. The doctor's just going, okay, here you go, here's just some pills, and we'll meet you up again. Um, for me, my perspective is I want to find out what the problem is and correct it. That way, the rest of my systems will come back into balance.
Yeah.
Don't just treat the symptoms, find the problem. That goes along with, on a spiritual case, the same thing. Don't just treat the symptoms, find the problem.
Yeah.
Jesus is not about treating symptoms. He's about treating the problem, correcting the problem.
That's right.
Um, you know, you look at what he says in the Sermon on the Mount. You have heard it said, "Thou shalt not this," but I say, he says, these guys are just treating the symptoms. Here's the problem.
Yeah. Yep.
So Yeah.
More, I ordered some more balanced drinks. Whatever's in that is was really helping me. Uh, and then I stopped, and then everything came back. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's in that drink.
But does it actually? I mean, I realize that it helps, but have you identified what the problem is?
No,
So basically, all you're doing with the balance drink is treating a symptom because you haven't really identified the problem so that you can get that corrected. So you
yeah,
don't need that. And that's a valid concern. Not saying that the balanced drink shouldn't, you shouldn't take it or not at all. What I'm saying is that you really need to find the problem and get it corrected.
yeah.
Now that may mean that you take the balanced drink for the rest of your life or whatever. But uh,
I'm here.
coming.
You, you are such a trip.
But yes, I am. I'm clear over here in Iowa. It's a trip to get here. Oh
Is anybody here? No.
no, we don't have anybody here.
Nobody did tagging?
No, Alicia just ran off on me. I guess.
Okay.
Chua, go get Alicia. Either
What?
that or she's sitting in there enamored of you. Or she just sitting there, awestruck at our brilliance.
Mm, tag was.
What happened to our tagger? No, we have nothing in comments, girl. Neither one of us have any tag done. Does it show up anywhere?
Oh, hey! We have comments.
So why do we not have comments? Or is it just me?
Uh, Reba's here on Facebook, and
There's no comments in EVMux.
nope, no. We,
Okay.
we have four on Facebook. And
I'm going to refresh mine. Be right back. You didn't find any comments on your end either? Why are we not getting comments? Well, let's see if CJ's got any comments. Obviously, we're not. Yeah, are there two streams? We got two CEM streams.
hello.
How in the world do we have two CEM streams going? How did
No, I
no?
did not.
Because CJ wasn't here. S-
I. Oh, hey. So we can get comments on the second one, I guess.
But we can't see the comments on the first one.
Oh, hey. Why are we go? Alicia,
She's blaming you for going live and her for going to say. He said you pushed the go live button at the same
no.
time she did.
Well, well, look at your destinations, Alicia.
Did
Why
she
do
put
we?
two? She
Somebody did. We have going to our page twice.
Alicia, Alicia. I hate to say this, sweetheart, but I didn't set up this stream. CJ, did you set up the stream?
Nope.
Alicia, that means you're the one that set up the stream.
So my question is, why I didn't? How? Like how can you go live twice on Facebook?
Way to go, Evie Moss!
So I'm just I don't want everybody to move. No, I'll just
CJ's just gonna field the comments from the second stream, from the first stream, whatever it is.
uh, I'm here. You can't see me. Well, now we can. Well, that was
No,
dumb.
we can't see you because you're in the one stream that is not showing up in the EVMux. Why EVMux would go two streams at the same time on the same page and not show both of them, we don't know. But it did. It's called a glitch in the matrix.
I don't know which one has all the because we can see the second one. Okay, so I'm going to
CJ, if you
well,
were to go log in to Facebook on CEM page, onto this, go to the CEM page, log in as the CEM, you know how we do,
yep.
and shut down the one that only has your comment from Facebook. Theoretically, that should clean it up. Will it? We don't know.
I feel like I need to terminate the one that is not displaying comments. No?
Theoretically, yes, and then they would have to but then they would have to move over to the other one.
Yeah, well, that's just one swipe down.
So it's up to you.
I'm gonna kill. Which one? Is this the one? Yeah. Kill this one. Terminate.
Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit.
Alright, scroll down. Well, alright. And now. No, I terminated both of them apparently. I don't know why. It was supposed to just terminate one. Yep. We are not live on Facebook anymore. So, should I restart? I guess.
We can restart without having the intro.
Yeah.